What you're looking out here is exactly what we bought. This whole property was just one flat sheet of alkaline, and we've turned it into this right here.
So Owens Lake was a terminal lake, which basically meant that all the water in this area ended up in this lake. The only thing that happened to the water in this lake, it would be evaporating during the summertime. And Department of Water and Power came up here and realized there was water up here, and they were able to hopscotch and buy the water rights to this valley, and thus they were able to divert the various streams coming down and the Owens River into the aqueduct. The aqueduct started to run water down to Los Angeles about 1913, and within 11 years, the lake was empty. The problems were almost immediate in the lake because the bottom of the lake, since it is a terminal lake, all the fines come down to the lake bottom, and with the water capped on it, all the arsenic and heavy metals, everything stays at the bottom of the lake. Once the water was gone, any kind of wind would pick up that material and actually broadcast it into the atmosphere. And in this valley, we get winds that are 80 to 100 miles an hour. So it's not very hard for that material to start getting moved off that lake bed.
So when we bought this property in 2001, this is what it looked like over on this side. This is the north part of, or the south part of Owens Lake. And this is what we ended up with after all of our work. Jim and I have been driving up and down Highway 395 since we were young guys. And we didn't know this valley without there being a cloud of dust in the air. The lake was dry. We thought that it was that way forever. We just thought that that was just normal. And we've really seen the lake change. It's been unbelievable to see the kind of change that has been made. And it's not just waterfowl, it's all kinds of species that are enjoying the water.
We were duck hunters. Tony and I were duck hunters, and we had been a member of a duck club in the Salt Sea, down Salt Sea. So the duck club ended up losing its water rights, and as a result of that, we realized that we needed to find another place to duck hunt. We did not want to go to refuges and stuff because we just weren't set up for waiting in a sweat line to hunt public land. And we were knowledgeable enough between the two of us to figure out that we could probably, given the right circumstance, we could probably build a duck club if we could find the right place. So we started looking we put a pin in Pasadena, California, and did a 3-hour circle and said within 3 hours of that, we would try to find a place to build a duck club. So we located this piece of property, bought it from a guy that was about 90 years old, and actually we met him up at a golf course up in Ojai. He was playing golf, and he agreed to sell us the property. He thought we were nuts because he said there's no water, there's no ducks, there'll be nothing there, it's just a desert. So we went ahead, we had confidence. We had looked at the property, we'd seen spring mounds on the property, which are areas where there's large plots of land that are popped up because a plant grew up there. And so we knew there was water that was perhaps down below those areas, and we were pretty comfortable that we would be able to find water here. So we bought the property not knowing for sure that there'd be water here. And we drilled our first well. And with that, we were able to prove that there was water on the property. And from there, we started developing a plan for how we were going to build our ponds.
So this is our #1 producing well. Slip this off, you get a shot of that water.
Before the lake was drained, there were large amounts of birds that passed down through the Owens Valley. When they drained the lake, it caused those ducks to move other places, including the Central Valley. Once we put water on our lakes, we saw that the numbers every year would continue to increase, and they're still increasing today. And today we're seeing all kinds of birds. We're seeing we get a lot of canvasback, we get a lot of redhead, we get a lot of mallards. We get wood ducks from time to time, not too often. We got a lot of widgeon, a lot of teal, and we get swans that come on our property. We have geese, and it continues to ramp up. In fact, the group of swans we see, we're pretty sure we see the same swans every year. 5 or 6 swans come, they stay here for about, maybe a month or so, then they continue on. So we see that these patterns that were historic patterns are starting to come back in this valley. And now with Department of Water Power having to put water out of the lake bed itself, we're seeing even more birds because now they've got habitat out there. It's protected habitat. In other words, the birds there's not a lot of tules and stuff around, so they feel very safe out on that lake because there's no way they can get picked up by a predator like a coyote. It's very difficult. So by the time they get down here, they're tired, they're out of the water, they're safe, and they like this valley. It's a good valley for them. So this is where I hunt. I hunt this every Saturday and every Sunday morning. And right here, the water's about 2 feet deep, and we're 6 inches over the water. It's basically a platform blind. It's about 30 feet off the shore. Trim all the tules and have awesome hunting here. My view is the Sierras on my left and the sunrise on my right. And it's historic. I mean, the view is historic.
I think that we all have a responsibility, whether we're sportsmen or not, to the environment. We should do our part, whatever we can, to keep the environment as beautiful as it can be, because we're just here for a short period of time. And there are many, many generations, hopefully, that will be able to enjoy what we've seen. It's very delicate. If we're not watching over it, then bad things will happen, guaranteed.